Hey, what's up guys? Jake from DMAI House of Cards, bringing you my Worm Light type reptile deck. It's pretty good. My basic strategy is to get them out pretty quick. Starting with my extra deck, I'll use Worm 0. And to get them out there, I'll use Future Fusion. And basically what Future Fusion does is I can remove from play the fusion listed monsters and a fusion card, and for Worm 0 it doesn't really specify. It just says reptile worm monsters, so I can just remove as many as I want from my deck and put in my graveyard. That's my extra deck. And then next I'll have an Even Dragon Ananta, and it's kind of the same as Worm 0, but for him, instead of the worm attack and defense is times 500 for each worm I put in the graveyard. And for Even Dragon Ananta, it's every reptile I remove from my graveyard and put in my remove from play, and then it's times 600 for Evil Dragon Ananta. So if they somehow get rid of Worm 0, I can always pull him out. He's another power guy. Worm King, 2700 attack, pretty good. I can tribute one reptile worm monster to select one card my opponent controls and destroy it. He's pretty good. Usually you can get him out with one of Worm Zero's effects, which is to special summon one worm from your graveyard per turn. I usually pull him out first, or I'll pull out Worm Queen. Same attack and defense, just a little different effect. I can tribute one reptile worm to summon from my deck the same level or less than the tribute monster. I don't really use her effect, but I'll also get out Worm Victory. And this one's really good. It's got a really good flip effect if I can get him out there set. When he's flipped, destroy all monsters on the field except for reptile worm monsters. And then he gains 500 attack. Like, you know, you're thinking, why does he have 0? He gains 500 for each card in my graveyard, so he can usually get up to a good 5,000 at least. And then 3 Worm Cataros. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Cataros. This is just your basic searcher for the worms. When he's flipped face up, you get 1 reptile worm monster from your deck, level 4 or lower. And usually I can get his effect. Get some worms in my hand. And Worm Tentacles, another 4-star monster with 1700 attack. I can remove from play reptile worm monster from my graveyard so that he can attack twice. And usually I do 3 of those. Next is 3 XYZs, or XEXs. And he can't be destroyed by battle if I have one of my Worm Yagans out. I run 3 of these too. And Worm Xex helps me get out Worm Yagan. I can remove from my deck and put in my graveyard 1 monster when Xex is summoned. And then Worm Yagan comes onto the field if Xex is my only monster on the field. And then Xex can't be destroyed by battle. And then, that's pretty good. Next, and then when Worm Yagan's flip face up, I can return 1 card on the field to my opponent's hand, or one of his cards, and then 2 Worm Apocalypses. Pretty much just a quick MST if I can flip them, destroy 1 spell or trap on the field. It's pretty good. 1 Worm Dimikles, I think it is. Dimikles, I don't know. He gains 300 attack and defense each time he's flipped face up, and I have some trap cards that can flip guys back to face down, along with Book of Moon if I want to flip him face down to get his flip effect again. But usually I use that on Worm Victory or something. But I can usually get him up to 2,000, maybe to 2,300 attack, and he's pretty good. And then I have 1 Worm Drake, just to get the effect of Solidarity, plus I like the name and the look of him. I mean, it just looks pretty cool. He's got that red flame all around him. It looks pretty cool. And then Drake's my favorite rapper. A little thing about me. And then Solidarity. If I can find 1 original printed type of monster, then all my other monsters, which all of them are reptiles, so all other monsters on the field get an 800 attack that are reptile, which is all of them. 1 Future Fusion, just to get out that Worm Zero for my extra deck. 1 Heat Wave. This is just a staller of the game, along with 1 Swords Revealing Light. Heat Wave's just for 1 turn. Nobody can summon any effect monsters. So I guess if I'm facing somebody with an old-fashioned deck, it won't really help. Like, old-fashioned with no effects. And then Swords, nobody can attack for 3 turns. Attack me at least. And that just saves me a little bit of time. MST, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. Those are most of the staples. Not a lot of people actually use Pot of Greed anymore, but it's just quick, easy draw phase for me. 2 actually. And then a Viper's Rebirth. If I need to hit my opponent 1 more time to finish him off, I'll bring back one of my Worm guys. Since you bring back 1 reptile monster, non-tuner, from your graveyard, and well, all the worms are non-tuners, so, and then it's special summon until the end phase, and then during the end phase it's destroyed, but pretty much that's just to win the game if I need to. Torrential Tribute and Mirror Force, same thing, but 1 they need to summon, 1 they need to attack. I think everybody knows the difference between those. 1 Trap Hole, I kind of want a bottomless, but I haven't been able to find one, so just using the Trap Hole for now. 1 Solemn Judgment. That's pretty good towards the end of the duel. If I really need to stop something, I can really quick. Pay half my life points. That kind of sucks, so I won't use it during the beginning usually. 3 Offerings to the Snake Deity. 1 of mine for 2 of theirs. Pretty good. Usually I'll use Kratos and then Apocalypse. After I've used their effect, I'll use that. And then 3 W Nebula Meteorites, and you flip the guy, all face down monsters flip face up in defense until the end phase, and then during the end phase, all my monsters, well, all light reptile monsters are flipped back face down if they're face up, and then I draw 1 card for each, and then after that I can special summon 1 level 7 or higher light reptile monster for my deck, and that just helped me get out. If I haven't used Future Fusion to get out Worm Zero yet, I can get out Worm Victory or Worm Queen or Worm King if I really want to. Those are pretty much my high star monsters. I'll use 4. Otherwise, they're all 4 or lower, along with Worm Zero. And finish my Worm type deck. If you have any recommendations to upgrade it or anything, leave a comment. Thank you, DMAI House of Cards. Look at that nice case, Mortal Kombat type of case.